resources for government to actually come and contain such groupings to the very end. Why would anyone find necessity to create a problem that would take so much to bring to an end?
Fred, I want to appreciate Senator Mungatana's approach, which is, as you say, scientific in a way, or has to be based on data. So it's true out there we have problems, security problems that need to be sorted out and stamped out. Part of it is what we call cattle rustling, which is also a menace. And then now the gangs, which are their menace. And the other one was, the suspicious kidnappings and so on. The idea of the internal security, is so that we can have more peace in regions and avoid IDPs, creating of IDPs. Kenyans still have a lot of IDPs in existence. Why? Because of such things that we're talking about right now. The right of every Kenyan is to be able to go back home, to their homes, in peace and live in peace. So ICNC is really having a big problem because they churn out this information, but they have no authority to execute or even push or prosecute any of these things. And so we have an organization there that is basically toothless in a way, except that we give money so that they can find out what's wrong with our situation and help us. How much money is being spent on the things we call security operations to try and, remove some of these security issues? And now, if we allow the revolving or the new gang to come out, we're simply saying we have more money than we need so that we can deal with these matters. So we introduce the problem so that we can deal with it, mop it. That's still a lot of our resources going to security. In fact, we should have a situation where we are not in war with any country, by the way. We're not in war. But we're spending more as if we're in war because of our own internal problems. This kind of problem we're talking about. Our military is armed more for the interior than even for the exterior. Why? Because we have got this problem. So we should be solving them rather than creating more. And I think it doesn't matter if I'm your opponent, but if somebody can come to take my property freely, and the police cannot stop that person, and they can come into my house, carry everything they want, and walk freely, then there's a suspicion that you in the security apparatus are involved in it. When you say it's government, it's because you ask yourself, how did that guy walk into that meeting, destroy whatever they destroyed, that group, and take away whatever they took? You hear about telephones, mobile phones being taken, things being deleted and so on. And you could ask yourself, definitely, where was the police? This gang came in, whatever they are called. Were they armed more than the police? So you ask yourself questions, and I think for Mungatana's sake, it is just the feeling that if somebody can do it freely like that, then government knows about it. Because government is everywhere. Government is everywhere. When you go to church, by the way, government is there. When you go everywhere, government is there. So I don't know. I do want to suggest what I said before. We are spending money for things that we are creating, and the Mwananchi who needs that money is not benefiting from it. And we have a lot of people who live insecurely in this country today.
Okay. Let's look at some of the consequences, and if we may draw parallels with what happened previously, that once you allow these gangs to operate the way they operate, at some point it becomes a problem that's no longer tenable, that you have to deal with it. Now, the methods that were previously used, including special units like the Kwekwe Squad, where parents were complaining that their children are now disappearing, and probably that is one way that was used to contain the dreaded Mungiki back then. Probably that is what the government will have to resort to again. This is, do you agree that that is probably the best way to deal with such a grouping?
I started off by saying that security should concern all of us.